Hey y'all, welcome back. So today I figured we could set up my 2022 planner together. I know that we are already 12 days into the new year, but this was just delivered yesterday, so I figured we could set it up together today on camera. I thought it would be fun to kind of just walk you guys through my thought process and see how we got to this point with my new planner. So if you followed along last year, I was in a Hobonichi Weeks and ordered one for 2022. I got a yellow Mega Weeks because I thought all of the extra note pages was going to totally be my jam. And I wanted to just kind of walk you guys through with a little flip through of how I had it set up before getting on to the new planner. So I had already added a bunch of cute deco to the front, and it's all of my favorite things, and I'm pretty bummed that I'm gonna lose all of these cute stickers. So let's start off with December. I set up the month of December, added all of my habits in, all of my appointments. It was exactly what I needed for December. I also set up January, well, I added a header, and that's all that January got. So if we go to the weeks, I started using it as soon as I possibly could, which was the end of November. So I set up that week, and it was still working great. It brought me so much joy. It worked for me exactly what I needed, and it was my planner. Move on to the next week, still working really well. I thoroughly enjoyed using it. On to the next week, also still working really well. Really happy to be in my planner. Then we get to the week of Christmas. I decided, you know what, let's try something different. I used my Zig Clean Dot markers to make bullet points for everything instead of using my key. So that was pretty much kind of just switching it up. Don't know why I thought that was a good idea. I didn't add any of my daily highs, so it just kind of wasn't my thing. Then to the last week of the year. I barely touched it. I only added a couple of things, and it wasn't working for me. It wasn't bringing me joy. It wasn't making me want to pick up my planner and actively plan. So I did what all planners do. I made a list. I was doing some research on YouTube and trying to figure out some different options for different planners that I could use for the year. So first, I made a list of everything that is in my weeks, every single thing, everything I track, the extra notes pages I have in there, how I set up my weekly setup, everything. I just put it down all on paper and wanted to make sure that whatever new planner I was using was going to still work for me and still be able to house everything that was in my weeks, because that setup just worked for me. So I made a list, did my research, and I decided to pull out my A6 Stology. So I found a layout that I really like in a planner and decided to give it a try in my Stology. It's not a layout that I normally use often or that I even gravitate towards, but I decided to go ahead and just give it a try and see if it is something that could work. So I have a planner in my current planner and a notebook so that I can journal, which is something that's super important to me because I missed doing that when I had my weeks. Hey guys, this is Editing Angelica here. I am not sure why I added in that clip of the planner and journal in my cover. I'm doing a voiceover in post, so I don't know what that was about, and I'm a little confused, so sorry about that. So I just am really excited about being able to journal together again. So I pulled out my Stology, like I said before, and just set up the weekly layout as it would be in the new planner that I just purchased. And here's the layout. I just did a really quick, dirty, rough sketch of what the layout would look like and just put my whole week in there. I was able to add daily highlights, tasks, day-specific tasks, memories, moods, tasks in general that didn't have specific days, everything. So I'm glad that the new layout is working for me as well. So I also set up the next week and gave it a try there, and it was so good. It really made me happy. I filled everything out. I tried a bunch of different pens to see if I could decide on one pen. Was able to put all of my moods. It really was working for me. So I also set up this past week, and still, again, it's just so clean and really the change that I think that I needed. So I did it. I ordered my A6 Wonderland222. Yay! You guys, when I tell you I have never, the last time I was this excited about a planner is whenever I ordered my A6 Hobonichi Techo. That was it. That was when I was the most excited. And now we have this, and I'm so excited. So I already have a plan on how to set this up. Like I said, I made a list of everything that I needed to put into this new planner. So I am going to probably be referencing that list a lot so that I can just make sure everything is where it needs to be. Also, sorry about all the extra hand movements. I was also working when filming this video, so all of that is just there. So you know I'm multitasking. So first I'm going to probably set up my key, but actually, for real first, I'm going to check the spine and make sure that when I fold my notebook back, the way I do my stologies, that it doesn't ruin the notebook, because that would suck. So I'm just trying to find the sweet spot so that I can fold my planner back so that I'm able to write on the key page. So now that I've got my planner prepped, I am ready to import all my data, and now I just have to decide on a pen to use. So for the setup, I am going to use my Platinum Preppy in Fine. Yes, in Fine. My best friend Jenny, she actually has a Platinum Preppy and did a little pen test on her Instagram stories and just told me about how good it was. So I ordered one, and she's right. Jenny, you are correct. This pen is amazing. I highly recommend it to everybody. It's really good, and it dries extremely fast, which on this Tomoe River paper, like jelly, more pigmented inks, I feel like take longer to dry. So this pen dries extremely fast. So if you guys don't have one, I 10 out of 10 recommend you order one from Jet Pens. Yes, go get it. Okay, now that I'm done fangirling about this pen and shamelessly plugging Jet Pens, not sponsored, I am going to start setting up my key, if you will, for my monthly color palette. So I am using this super sweet stencil. It's a Hobonichi stencil, and Jenny got it for me also because she's amazing. So I'm using that to put all of my month numbers down, and then next to it I'm just going to swatch and list the color of Tombow that I'm using for the month. And I got this idea from Ellie at Ellie's Corner on YouTube and Instagram. So what she does in her bullet journals is she makes a list of a designated color for each month and then uses that same color in every week for all of her things in her bullet journal. And I love that idea. I absolutely love that idea. It just lets me pick out a color that I love and then helps me to stick to it so that I'm not like switching colors every week and then giving me anxiety. So I told her, oh my gosh, I am going to totally implement that into my planner. And I liked it so much, I wrote it down in my weeks from last year in my section called Things to Move to the 2022 Planner. So thank you, Ellie. Okay, now I am actually going to add my key. So I know that this is a big thing in the bullet journal community. You have a designated key that comes from, I believe, Ryder Carroll, and it is kind of the same across the board all the way around. I kind of just modified that and decided to make it my own, and yeah, it works for me. I actually got the little slash idea from Helen at Coffee Monsters Co. Because I saw that she put slashes in her Hobonichi cousin, and I was like, oh, you know what? That's a good idea because it's easier. So I took that and implemented it to my system, and it really works for me. It's pleasing to the eye. We all know how important that is to me. So I just moved it on over. And I don't have a lot of things to add to my key. I just have a task complete, task moved, memory, and you will see at the end of this video, I also add in 2 different icons for notes because I do add little notes into my planner that are just things that I need to remember that aren't like memories. So I have something there for that. It's just a little bullet or arrow, so yeah. And now I am swatching my first color of the new year. It is number 603. It's a Tombow dual brush pen. The color of it is periwinkle, and as you can tell by my nails, I am a huge fan of this color. It brings me so much joy. It also brings me peace, comfort, and calmness, which is, it's a thing. Yes, it is. So I am very happy to have that be my first color of the month, of the year. And on the index page, I am going to just list all of the pages that I use from my notes section and list them all there. And if anything from my week travels into my notes, it will also be listed in the index section. We also have a yearly section here, and I will be using it the same, importing my daily weight, the first quarter and second, third, and fourth quarter sections. I believe I'm gonna be using it as a workout tracker. Just list everything that I do, maybe in the notes section put some different like workout routines I can follow or like workout challenges, things of that nature, because one of my resolutions is to move my body at least 3 times a week. That can be yoga or cycling or dancing, anything like that. And it works well because it's next to the weight section. And I do have 2 pages here for November and December of trackers that I obviously am not going to be using. So I think that I'm going to put pictures of myself every month just to see how I change, how my body changes, and it fits for 12 photos. So I think that that is going to be kind of cool. I don't really put pictures in my planner ever, but I think I'm going to give it a try this year. So I'm excited about that. And then we also have, of course, the habit trackers for the rest of the year. And I'm going to go ahead and just grab my pen and go ahead and start filling out my habit tracker for the month of January. So don't mind me, I'm grabbing my weeks, even though I did make a list in my notebook about everything that needs to go into my new planner. I did not write the specific habits that I am tracking, so I am just grabbing my monthly section just so that I can reference those new habits that are moving into the new planner. So now I am going to use this beautiful 845 red Tombow dual brush pen to mark off my period. Jenny also sent me this beautiful red Tombow, so thank you again, Jenny. You literally are the best. I cannot thank you enough. I've told you that time and time again, and it is still true right now. So before I set up my monthly, I decided that I wanted to go ahead and start setting up my notes pages in the back of the planner just before getting started on the monthly. And before getting started on my notes pages, I remembered that I needed to have a pen test page. So I'm going to the last page of the index options to go ahead and get started on the pen test page because I guarantee you I will not have enough notes to be documented to take up 3 entire pages of indexes. So honestly, it's probably just going to run in columns. So I'll probably be using those 2 vertical columns on the front, maybe the 2 on the back. I don't think so, but maybe. So I'm just leaving those blank so that I can use them as needed. But I'm going to go ahead and start swatching out some of my pens. Now I'm going to swatch my absolute favorite pen. This is a TWSBI Eco. It is in extra fine and I currently have it inked with Noodler's ink in the color Black Swan Australian Rose, and it is probably one of the most pleasant writing experiences I've ever had in all of my life. It is extremely comfortable in the hand. It's not super heavy when it's posted, and even when it's not posted, it's still super comfortable to write with. it's an extremely satisfying experience. So if you are able to get a Twisby Eco, I 11 out of 10 recommend. And we're back with the notes pages. So I'm starting off with a little bit of information that I normally keep in my planner to just have for reference. I do training narration videos for my facility, and I have just some information for my audio room and the Pro Tools program that I use to record. So I'm just writing down some little quick tips because it's not something I use every day and I have a really bad memory, so I like to have that information handy when I need it. I am also going to add a page into my planner for my daughter and just list her current medications that she's on. If she is feeling unwell, just make a note on probably a sticky note that I need to add that into her planner. If her clothing or shoe size changes, stuff like that, just little notes about her that I need to keep with me at all times. I'm putting that there under the bug section and just adding in the rest of the information that I like to keep track of in my weeks that isn't necessarily tracker information. So I do like to track my meals, not necessarily for calorie counting or for my weight or anything like that, but I have newly been diagnosed with migraines, so I like to track down everything that I eat just to see if there's any correlation with any triggers that are causing migraines. And I did make a little mistake when creating this tracker for my food. I did not account for space for a date. I only added breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, and I forgot the date section, but it's okay. I can make it work. It's fine. I'll cry about it later. No, it's okay. It's fine. Yay! So now we're going to set up the monthly section. I am just going to check back in with my weeks to make sure that I have the little design correct for the monthly header. I'd mentioned on my Instagram that I had a goal of setting up each monthly header the same, so I'm just going to continue that for the rest of the year. So now we're going to set up the weekly section. So I'm just going to set up my A6 Astrology just so that I can reference the information that is there and move it on over to the new week. thank you guys so much for following along with me as I set this guy up. I was super excited about it, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope y'all have a good rest of your week. Thank you guys for watching. Bye!